Hi everyone, it's Melissa from Peaceknotsjewelry.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these adorable even count peyote stitch earrings. But first, before I get into that, I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart that I have 400 plus subscribers now, and creating this had no idea that it would even get 2 followers, so thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment, or subscribe so I know that I'm making the right content for you. Okay, let's get started. So for today's supplies, you're going to need Delica Size 11 seed beads. I will put the color code in the description below. I have 5 colors here, ranging from gray, black, 2 shades of purple, and this almost like champagne color. Anytime I'm doing a design, I always like to add in a shine to it. If I have a lot of matte colors, it just adds some character to your design. You're going to need a beading felt mat. You're going to need D, size D, Nymo cord, a lighter, a pair of scissors, some ear wires, some Fireline cord, and 8-pound I'm using today in a black satin. You'll also need a beading needle, and then this is more for just ease, is a beading triangle to pick up and organize your beads. So the first step is you're going to take a piece of Fireline cord. You can cut, I usually always like to work with an arm's length of cord. You don't need that much, but I just generally like to cut more than what I actually need. I take a chain nose plier and I flatten the end so that I can easily bead it or thread it through the needle, like so. And you don't want the 2 ends to meet. You do want to have a tail at the end. So we're going to be doing a even count peyote stitch. So obviously we have only 5 beads, so we're going to double up on a color, and I'm going to double up on the dark purple. So first you need to create a bead stopper. So choose any color bead that you want. You're going to string it on and then kind of take it down a couple inches from the bottom, and then take your needle from the bottom of the bead to the top, pull like so, and you have a stopper bead. So I usually leave myself approximately like 5 inches of cord, so that way I can weave it back through the design. So I'm gonna thread on 6 beads. So I'm gonna do the champagne color, 1 of the dark gray, 1 of the light purple, 2 of the dark purple, and then 1 black. String them all the way down till you get to the bead stopper, and you're going to hold your beads like so, kind of like at a horizontal. And then with the peyote stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to skip this first bead and go through this second bead like so. We're not going to go all the way through, but I'm just showing you. But we first need to pick up a bead. So you're going to pick up a black bead because that's the first bead that you see here. So holding it horizontal like so, you're going to skip that first black bead and go through that medium or dark purple. It's a little tricky to get it going, but once you do, you're going to hold it still at that horizontal and pull to tighten. You kind of have to play with it to get your beads in the direction that you want, and I'll show you what that final direction is. So see how the 2 black beads are sitting side by side. So your cord is coming out through this medium purple. You're going to pick up a bead, skip this medium purple, and go through the light purple. So with Peyote Stitch, you're always skipping the bead that is right next to the cord coming out and then going up through the next bead. So we're going to pick up a medium purple and go through that light purple like so, holding it still horizontal. And see how the beads sit. The two blacks sit side by side, and then you've got one, and then the two sit side by side, and then you have one. Now we're going to skip that dark gray and go through that champagne. So pick up a dark gray and go through that champagne bead like so, and pull to tighten. Okay, so right now you can see where if you can see properly, those are all stacking nicely, and the stopper bead is still there. Just ignore it. It's just holding your pieces together. So now we're going to flip over the design. So we flipped over our design. Now we're starting with the champagne color. So you're going to pick up a champagne bead and go through the next bead. And see how it's stacking. So now we're going to pick up a light purple bead. Skip that light purple and go through the medium purple. Like so. And now we're going to put on a medium bead and go through the black. So it's a little challenging to see, but see how that's your stopper bead. And this is 2 rows of Peyote Stitch. So you just finished that row, so you're going to flip it over again. So after you complete each row, you're flipping over. So now we have black starting with. So we're going to grab a black bead and go through that purple. And you're just going to continue this design until you can complete a full circle and kind of zip up that circle, which would be 8 rows. So I'll meet you at the 8th row. Okay, so I just finished my final row. This is still the bead stopper, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. And you'll notice on this side, I'm ending with the black, dark purple, and the gray. And this side, I'm ending with the dark purple, light purple, and the champagne. So you want them to be opposites because you need to stitch up and create that circle. So see how when you kind of put these ends together, it almost creates a, it creates a seamless circle. So your string is coming out of this black one right here. Let me try to get this light source a little bit better. Okay. So I just kind of closed it together with my fingers here, and I have the cord coming out of this black. I'm going to go down the next black bead next to it to start that zipper effect. So I just went through this black bead here, and now I'm going to go down the purple next to it, again creating that zipper effect. Now we're going to go down the next purple bead, now we're going to go through that light purple, next it's the gray, next it's the champagne. Make sure you don't get the tail stuck in there. And see how it zippered, and it's now a complete circle, and you still have that stopper bead right here. So now to just secure it even more, our cord is coming out of this champagne, so we're going to go through a couple of other beads just to really secure that circle. I zigzagged all the way through to the other side, so I'm coming out through the black. So you are ready to cut this cord and burn the edge, and then you're going to remove this stopper bead by just pulling on it gently, and then you're going to weave back this string through a couple of the other beads and then cut and burn off as well. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I have my adorable little peyote even count stitch circular bead, and now we're ready to complete the fringe part. So you're going to cut out a piece of size D Nymo cord. I'm using it in a black because all my beads are generally this like dark color. I'm going to measure out an arm and a half worth of D cord. You do want to leave yourself a tail at the end, so make sure not to match the two cords together at the end. Okay, so this is going to be the top part of our fringe. So you're going to add the size D cord anywhere really. You can, I usually just start in the middle here and string it all the way through, leaving yourself just a couple of inches tail, like so, so you can thread that back through, holding it, go through the champagne bead. That way you're going to be ready to attach your fringe. So right now your cord is coming out through one of the, it doesn't matter which one, but any of the champagne. And you're going to pick up 4 of the black beads, 2 of the champagne, 4 of the dark gray, 2 of the champagne, 4 of the dark purple, 2 of the champagne, 4 of the light purple, 2 of the champagne, and 25 of the black, 2 of the champagne. So you're going to string those beads all the way up to the top here, And then you're going to skip one of the champagne and go through all the rest of the beads. And then make sure you grab the champagne, still keeping that tail the same length, and pull. Sometimes it's easiest to lay your piece flat, grab that last bead on the end, and pull to tighten. Now, Nymo cord is very difficult in the sense that it can angle easily. So just make sure that you're trying to keep things not a tangled mess. So you just went up through this champagne color. Now you're going to go down the next champagne color, and you'll be ready to string on the other fringe pieces to tighten so that there's no gap in between this bead right here. So you're going to do the same exact pattern. The only difference is you're going to start with the 25 black and then end with the 4 and the 2 section. So string on 25 beads and then 2 champagne, and then we're going to do 4 of the light purple, 2 of the champagne, 4 of the medium to dark purple, 2 champagne, 4 of the gray, 2 of the champagne, and 4 of the black, and 2 of the champagne. String them all the way up, lay it flat, skip that first champagne and go up through the rest of the beads, and then pick up that very last champagne, lay it flat, holding the very last bead and pulling the string through. Pulling it nice and tight, and your cord is going up through this champagne. So now you're going to go down the next champagne color bead. And you're going to do this same exact repetition, where next we're going to start with this section here and then end with 25 and then go back and forth. So you're going to do this all the way across until you have finished the fringe on all 8 of the champagne beads, and I will meet you at the very end. Okay guys, I am on my very last fringe piece. I strung on all the beads, so now I'm just going to skip that last one and go up through the rest of the beads. Is that champagne color. I'm pulling through and grabbing the end and pulling the ends together. All right. So now our cord is coming up out of the champagne color. We're going to zigzag this cord all the way up to the top of the black beads. So now our cord is coming out through one of the black cords. So what you're going to want to do is create a little, pull the other one over, a little hook so your ear wire can go through. Just make sure whichever one you're going up out through, you go through one that is exactly opposite of it so that it is nice and even. So we're going to pick up 6 of these champagne colored beads, string them on, and go back down through the exact opposite black bead so your beads sit like that. And we are going to zigzag all the way through to the other side. Okay, so now we need to go up through these champagne colored beads one at a time so we reinforce that loop that is holding the ear wire. And I don't mind mine kind of loose, but if you want it to be really reinforced, just zigzag back through and then over all through the champagne beads. But I'm going to end it here by going through a couple of more rows here and then burning the edge cord. And then this other cord, you're going to run it back through a couple more times, then cut it and burn the edge, and then the final piece will be adding the ear wire. So I'll meet you there. Okay guys, so now I am ready to attach my ear wire. I will link you to a video where I teach you how to make your own ear wires. They're so much more cost effective and they're so much better quality when you make your own. And so we're gonna just loop that over, use our chain nose pliers to straighten that ear wire out and clamp it so there's no space, and you have your adorable little peyote even count earrings with fringe. And you can mix up the colors. I highly encourage you to get super creative. If you're brand new to even count peyote, it might be best to use one color, and one color is just as beautiful as creating a little pattern here with these colors. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you. Take care.